I'm Steve Jasper and I'm the jet lag guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Jet Lag in the News. There's been some not so great news this week, so let's get this way out of the way first. In the United States, many federal workers are not being paid, which includes the Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, workers who work security at American airports. Typically, when there's a federal shutdown, there is an increased risk of absenteeism, which is understandable. So if you're flying to, from, or within the US, expect delays and allow extra time for your flight. Drones have been found at Munich Airport shortly after they were reported at Copenhagen and Oslo airports. As a result, Munich Airport cancelled flights and flights were diverted to Stuttgart, Nuremberg, Vienna and Frankfurt. There was a public holiday last Friday, German Unity Day, as well as Oktoberfest. Part of Oktoberfest had previously been cancelled due to bomb threats, so the city was already on edge. The Russian government has so far denied responsibility for the drones. Now over to some research. Researchers in Pittsburgh were examining the link between sleep deprivation and susceptibility to the common cold. The researchers exposed a total of 153 healthy men and women to rhinovirus, a virus that causes the common cold, and found that participants who report less than 7 hours of sleep per night were almost 3 times likely to come down with a cold than those who reported 8 or more hours of sleep per night. The take-home message here is getting sleep is vitally important for your health. Nigeria. And this is the very first time I've used the Nigeria banner, although I'm not sure why the map includes the neighbouring country of Niger, which is a separate country. Anyway, research was done looking at the impact of shift work in 355 health workers who work shifts at Port Harcourt. The researchers found, quote, shift work sleep disorder is prevalent across health professionals in Port Harcourt tertiary hospitals and is significantly influenced by age and shift type. Shift work is a social jet lag, and it can have negative impacts on health, as well as for the patients in their care. Some depressing research out of the Netherlands. You're happy on a holiday, but are you any happier on return? According to this research, probably not. In a research with 1,530 Dutch individuals, the researchers found, quote, only a very relaxed holiday trip boosts vacationers' happiness further after return. Generally, there is no difference between vacationers and non-vacationers' post-trip happiness. So the tip here is to really relax on your holiday. Finally, over to the United Kingdom. I've been following the match in London between the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings because this is an American football match with lots of jet lag. The Minnesota Vikings defeated the Cleveland Browns 21-17. It was a close match and the Browns were leading until the last quarter 17-14. In terms of jet lag, there was a very slight advantage to the Cleveland Browns as they are one time zone ahead of Minnesota, so one time zone ahead, closer to London. So there was slightly less jet lag, but that wasn't enough to take them across the finish line. So well done to the Minnesota Vikings. Have any questions or want to know more about what I do, check out my website at www.jetlagguide.com.au. There's another book on the way, and you'll be the first to know when it's released. And that's this week's Jet Lag in the News. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy.